hapon po sa lahat. I presume that at any one point in time, lahat tayo nasa social media. Anybody in Twitter? Twitter, show of hands, please. Instagram? Facebook? So marami, no? Lahat tayo at any point in time will be on social media. So if I am here now as your speaker, I also presume that on a networking session, later, if I talk to any one of you, I could easily get your email address, right? All right. So, who here are pet lovers? Pet lovers? Show of hands. Si ma'am. Ma'am, name? Busy siya mag-coverage. So, you're a pet lover. Ano yung pet mo? Are you, dog, cat? Dog. Dog and cat. So, dog. Anong name what's the name of your dog? Juana. All right. So, she has a dog named Juana. And may I know your name, please? Flora. Last name? Altares. Maiden name? I presume you're married? Desma. All right. So, her name is Flor Desma Altares, right? So I know her name, I can get her email address, and I know that she has a dog, and she loves her dog very much, so she's probably posting a lot of dog pictures on the internet, on Facebook, right? From where are you? Province? Zamboanga City. All right. So foremost, I get her email address after. And now what do I need? I log into her Facebook with her email address. I just need her password, but I don't have it. I happen to be a certified ethical hacker, which is actually a misnomer because there's nothing ethical in hacking. It's a violation of privacy. But I don't need to be a hacker to be able to hack her Facebook account. I literally have almost anything I need by now, right? I have her email address. I need her password. So I don't know her password. 3 security questions, right? Number 1, what is the name of your favorite pet? Did I get it? Yes. Number 2, where is your hometown? Did I get it? Zamboanga City. And last, what is your mother's maiden name? So I only have 2 choices, her last name and her name that she just said. We usually just post anything and everything on Facebook and feel that there's nothing wrong with what we share. We're proud of what we do. But this is what we're talking about today. Today, I'm going to talk to you about social engineering attacks that are getting smarter through the years. And I feel that with all the other speakers that spoke before me, it's very, very much technical, no? So it's just my topic now. That's just the fusion of tech and the real world. For those non-techie people in the house, medyo magkakaintindihan tayo. Okay, so social engineering is defined as a broad range of malicious activities. So something fraudulent, something wrong, something that you want to do, that you want to make fault with. These are activities that are accomplished through human interactions. So not really very digital, not really more on tech, but tech is just a means for us to do that malicious act. But it is more on our human interaction. So we need that connection to people, and we need people to trust us to give us the details, the data that we want. Okay? So, with this, nag-evolve siya through the years, no? It's really getting, they're really getting smarter. So the social engineering threat landscape is also being futuristic. So gone are the days that we have this Nigerian prince who has all of this money, sending you emails, and they want you to give your bank account, and they will send you the money, right? So I think at any point in time, na-experience nyo this Nigerian prince trying to give you money. No, so that was the evolution of social engineering attacks. So that was the first. But now, the attackers are going for the low-hanging fruits. the biggest landscape, which is the human equivalent of it, so tayo. So how do they do it? They will send us emails, they will use our social media and internet. They will ride through the existing trends, the new trends that are coming about. Especially now, in the pandemic era, no, our lives have been placed online. Even our kids, they were forced to have their schools online. So we were forced to work from home, even if we don't want to. And our offices cannot also provide us with all of the secured equipage that we need. So we have to bring our own devices and use our own devices for work. So this exacerbates the threat landscape even more. No? Kasi hindi natin ma-secure yung other equipment and laptops and computers and other gadgets that you own, literally own personally. So they ride on trends, and they now operate as a group. So there are now criminal groups that are really just doing this. They're trying to be in for the money. And there are also a lot of attack vectors that are out there. As Mel has stated a while ago, there are a lot of instances where we, as security experts, should think outside the box. But it goes both ways. Even our attackers, our hackers, are also thinking outside the box. So it's just a rat race of us trying to keep up with them, and they trying to find every means possible to get into our systems. So social engineering is actually, since it's for humans, it's an appeal to emotion. So anything that appeals to our emotions would drive us to give the data that they need. So what are these emotions? So we have happiness, we have sadness, we have fear, disgust, anger, and surprise. Happiness, if we receive a text that we won a raffle draw, that makes us happy, right? And they have a link that we can click in order for us to claim our prize. So it's an appeal to emotion. Also, there's like surprise that, say, for example, Globe Gcash will say that they will block your account if you do not click that link and try to reset your password. So it's an appeal to emotion, having that surprise or fear of being blacked out of your account. So always they will try to move you into giving up your data. So they're trying to get that emotional condition where you will be able to give them what they need. So social engineering tactics to watch for, these are red flags. So your friend sends you a strange message. Usually your friend doesn't, and you receive one. And your emotions are heightened by these kinds of emails or SMS or voice message. And the request is quite urgent. If you do not click within the next 24 hours or the next hour, your account is going to be blocked. So something to that effect. And also, when you win the offer, looks too good to be true. So if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And if you're really receiving something from somebody you haven't talked to in a while, that's also one. And if the sender isn't able to prove their identity, so those are red flags that you should watch for. So one of the types of social engineering attacks that we have in the Philippines, very, very popular, is the budol-budol. No? So we receive a phone call saying, hi, there's a sense of urgency, there's an emergency. You say, hi, I need your help, quick. I'm at the airport, or somebody from your member of your family has come into an accident and something like that. So if you look at this, this is you, and this is the situation at the back of it. So do not judge by what you hear and by the voice that you listen to. But the key here is take time to reconnect, take time to breathe, and take things in and try to focus and see the real situation. Try to validate the situation before you making any actions. So it's okay to hang up on social engineers. So one of the more glaring types of social engineering attacks is phishing. So phishing is the most widely used cyber attack. Why? Because it works. 98% of the attacks in the internet are phishing attacks. So they come in different types and different forms. So in 2020, phishing attacks rose to a glaring 220% because, as I said earlier, there was a height of the COVID-19 pandemic and we were all forced to go online. So Philippines is actually, prior to the pandemic, is already very, very much online. We spend, by statistic, around 6 to 8 hours a day in social media. And we are the text capital of the world. So our online presence is really very, very great. So we are we are one of the race which is really very much prone to these cyber attacks. So according to the CBS News, 36% of successful corporate attacks involved phishing. So this indicates an 11% rise over the past year alone. So on the types, we have, I just highlighted for different sites, they give different types. So I just highlighted 10 types of phishing attacks. So one is the CEO fraud. It's also called the BEC, or the business email compromise. This one happens from top to bottom. So the target for this kind of attacks are the lower level employees, particularly those in finance, and they receive an email or a text or a voicemail, so to speak, from their CEO or their boss saying that they should release this fund and pay for this transaction. So that's a CEO fraud. So in effect, that personnel will send the money. Number two is clone phishing. Clone means when you try to duplicate a particular message. So for this, the attacker would try to clone, say, an email thread that's already existing. So you already have all of those emails, and they just use that thread and add another conversation to it. And in effect, they clone it, and it looks very, very legit. The third is domain spoofing. This is very common. You receive certain emails, they have the same look and feel when you see it. You know, there's this logo that they have and everything. So there are some certain red flags to that. And if you look at the example, apple.com can be apple.co. Or sometimes they use different characters for different languages to hide the URL. We also have the evil twin, or what we call the Starbucks scam, because it's usually perpetuated in cafes. It's a type of Wi-Fi connectivity, and when you connected it to this, it's a rogue connection, and they take anything and everything that you type and everything that's already on your gadget that you connect to that rogue Wi-Fi. Number 5 is the HTTPS phishing. So usually, it's nothing more than a link. You receive an email and there's nothing there, just a link. So they're trying again to appeal to your emotion and take out your curiosity. So you're curious, what's this? Sometimes it's just an SMS and it's just one link. So if you click that link, it takes just you clicking that link, and they can get anything that they desire already from your device. They would be able to get your device, control your device already. Number 6 is smishing. By the term itself, it's basically the same phishing in email, but in the form of SMS. So at one point in time, you would have received any of this. It's very, very much proliferating now. You receive text messages offering you to claim certain prizes that for contests that you didn't even join. So we also have spear phishing. The difference between phishing and spear phishing is that for phishing, it's just like casting one whole net. You know, just send all of these emails, whoever receives it, and hope against hope that somebody gets lured to trying to get their data. For spear phishing, you use a spear to fish, and so it's very much targeted. They know your background. They have undergone thorough investigation about you. And so their messages now looks really, really very legit because they're targeting you as an individual. So that's spear phishing. And we have vishing. Vishing in itself is the same as smishing, but voice. So you receive a voice message, something urgent, something that requires you to do something immediately. We also have the watering hole attack. The watering hole is, here it's illustrated. So if you look at the watering hole in the jungle, the animals, to quench their thirst, they go to the watering hole. They go to the lake, and when they're there, they're quenching their thirst. Therefore, they are at ease. They're trying to quench their thirst. But in that moment that they are at ease, that's when the predators attack. So when they're drinking, a crocodile might come and get them, or a lion would come and prance towards them. So that's waterhole attack. In the digital world, it's the same. What I do is I send you an email, seemingly looking very, very legit. And when you click a link, it goes to the waterhole. And that link leads you to where I can get all of your data already. So whaling, as opposed to CEO fraud, is going on top. So the target for whaling is the big guns, the bosses, the CEOs. So the emails are now directed to the CEOs, asking them to allow the release of large funds to pay for certain transactions that are not actually existent. So those are just some of the examples. Okay, so there is a cycle to this social engineering. So this cycle involves four levels. We have investigate, hook, play, and exit. So first is to investigate, is we gather information. So we try to see who are we trying to attack. If it's generic, then it's just a phishing attack. But if it's targeted, then it's a spear phishing attack. So we gather information as to who these people are. What will make them tick? So for example, I go to a site where it's, say it's a group for widows or widowers. So I feel that those people that are members of those groups, those who are commenting, are very sad. They're lonely. So that's one investigation that I got. So I can get one person from that group, and that would be my victim. Number two is to hook. So I try to establish contact, send a message, and I give them a sense of assurance that I'm here for you, I care for you, I feel you, something like that. And in effect, when I get them to follow my cause, then I do number three, exploitation. So that's when you play, you get them to be at ease with you, let them pay, give you some money, to support you and all that. And number four is exit. Break the relationship or block the person. So that's how these types of attacks are being carried on in the real world. There's different types of malware. Malware is mal for malicious and software for the ware. So it's malicious software. We're very much, as technical people, I think you're all very much abreast with this one. So we have the viruses, the worms, Trojans, rootkit, spyware, blended threat, remote access. And this is now exacerbated by what? By the different gadgets that we have. For in the geeks world, not just our PCs before, but we now have our tablets, we now have our phones, we now have our smartwatches. Even our homes are connected to the internet. We have Internet of Things, and now we have the smart cities. Smart cities where everything is not connected wiredly, but on wires, but wirelessly. So if we are on wireless, then the connection that goes through the air gives gives less security for us because it gives more opportunities for a hacker to be able to get that transmission. So we have now the comprehending the outlook of organizations today in terms of adapting highly localized and geo-targeted threats. So with this, if you look at the graph, 2018 is the gray and 2019 for the red. In 2018, online services is a big thing. But in 2019, cloud storages have greatly, overlapped their attack vectors. Why? Because the different companies now offer a lot of cloud services because of the pandemic situation. So because of that shift, therefore, the shift in attack vectors also goes to that level. Here you will see the different attackers from different areas. We have the Asia Pacific, the Middle East, the Americas, and from the global scale. And from here, as you can see, because this year was the pandemic year, there was a clamor for different agencies, institutions to do research on how the pandemic will be addressed, as well as the vaccines. Therefore, the attack vectors goes a lot into education and research. And of course, secondary is always the government and the military. So, with all of that problems that I said, we should propose solutions. So this solution is, because it's a human factor, therefore, human intelligence is the best defense. We train our personnel. These summits are really very good if you're attending all of this, for you to be trained, to be abreast with the present times. And there's different ways for you to prevent the phishing attacks. So you have to stay alert from someone who asks your personal information. Never click any links from email, especially if you don't know the source of it. Always hover over the link, because the links usually show a different URL if you hover over that link. So pay attention to the websites you visit. Check if this is HTTPS with an S for it to be secured. And always activate the two-factor authentication for every gadget that you have. So in closing, this is a recap of what can possibly happen to you.
Hey Serena,
Yeah?
what you got in your bag?
It's my new heels for graduation. Good morning, guys. Guess what day it is? It's my birthday. Hey, where are these charges coming from?
So that's about it. Thank you for your attention, and be safe, everyone.
A very informative talk indeed from